Hey guys, this is Man Shark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Europa Universalis IV, and this is the first episode of the Millennia in the Making AI playthrough, or Observer mode for some of you. We're not in Observer mode yet, we're just having a little bit of a look around. This is the known world. Here is France, who we will be keeping an eye on, France slash Saxony slash the HRE. The HRE is still a thing, of course, right there. Exactly as we started it, with the horrible attrition of this island and all that sort of business. The only difference is, my prediction is that France is going to get absorbed into a personal union at some point, because of the prestige penalty. So let's just turn on observe mode. There we go. You see we've lost our shield, lost all our information here. Some things we can't open, otherwise it will fuck up. We can still see what the HRE's authority is, but we can't see what the Pope's authority is. Let's pump that speed up and get going. I don't expect too much to happen too quickly. And we'll try and keep it into smaller episodes than the last one, just because, well, there's not much happening and it's easier for me to upload. Nope, doesn't go any faster. If it does get too slow, episodes after this one will not feature talking and just simply be sped up, like in post. Not like I know how to do post-processing, but fuck it, we'll work it out. So nobody's really made any starts from what we can see here. I'm not sure if we have full visibility on everything. Let's just zoom in a little bit and see. Oh, we do. We do. We don't want that to happen. So we're going to stay zoomed out, because if we zoom in, things go to hell. I accidentally right-clicked on the Pope. Oh, we can also see the entire world, so let's just have a quick breeze around. There's America. That's what it should look like. Not doing too badly, guys. I have no idea how the new native stuff works. I had a game as a Cree once, and it just, it was a big fuck up because there were 2 expansions that came down and all that sort of thing. Inca and Kimu, whatever. China, of course, the subcontinent. Fucking Canada. Japan. Japan is interesting to play through, assuming that they fixed it. There was an issue with it at one point. Alright, so let's get back up here. So someone's under attack. It'll be interesting to see what happens regarding the Empire, to be quite honest. I don't know how aggressive they'll be, or what France will do, or anything like that. So it certainly will be interesting. Or even Great Britain. I mean, if the Empire starts getting fucked up, well, it looks like France is owning a little bit of up here. The main problem will be that France's prestige is going to crash. We got out of that. Excuse me. We got out of that by going to war with people and being a colossal dick about it. But the AI might not go along with that, to be quite honest. So that could be an issue. I mean, it's not doing much right now. We check to see if it's in a war with somebody. It is in a war. It's in a war of 2 wars. We can check exactly what they are. So it's the defender against Tigress of a Nicaean succession war. Okay, so here's another thing that's going to happen. Because everyone around here is a Littlefinger, basically, there are going to be a lot of succession wars. France is going to be in almost every single one of them. You can see some provinces swapping hands and getting occupied on the map. That's natural. That will happen. We will be able to check, let's see, political map mode perhaps? Sphere of influence even. click on France? No, it's not going to do that. Wonder which one would... I mean, diplomatic maybe, and we click on France, and then we can see what France owns. It owns a little bit up here, what we've already given it. It's personal union with Cilicia. It's at war with everything red, which is actually growing a little bit from what I can see. Just little patchy things all over the place. It's allied with the Pope, so the AI knows on which side its bread is buttered. And allied with Spoleto as well. It's an interesting thing to see, what the AI does. Excuse me. Don't know what that was about. Couldn't have been anything too important. Yeah, so I've already passed by, like, what, 3 years or something like that, so I think the basic speed would actually be pretty good. I mean, there's something to be said for a little bit of commentary over it. I know you like it. And part of this commentary over the next couple of episodes may just be me signing some Shadowrun missions as well, because I kind of got to do that. I mean, it's difficult to do it with, you know, full-time work and having to do this and, you know, my own desire to relax and not do anything. But fortunately, the next Shadow... Okay, so the first Shadowrun mission that we did, we've already had one game. I'm running the game, of course. That's why I'm designing the damned missions. But the very first mission, or, you know, run that they went on, it was a failure. It was supposed to be a failure. It was always planned to be a failure. They were actually supposed to start the game halfway through the run, and the first words out of my mouth were going to be roll initiative, but they all voted against that because they bitches, basically. And, oh, we could do something different for once. France is actually getting pretty up. A few places changing hands. Yeah. So yeah, that was the plan. But when given a choice to do something different to the usual Shadowrun sort of idea of sit down for 3 hours, plan out what you're going to do, then go do it, and have it all go to shit and have to adapt on the fly. Instead of following along with that basic... That's the basic structure of almost any Shadowrun session I've been in on. Except for ones that haven't really been Shadowrun and have been more rifts because of magic bullshit. For those of you who don't know, of course, Shadowrunners, they are quite a popular, I'd say, in the, you know, role-playing community. Game about cyberpunk sort of criminals. It's interesting. You know, check it out, I guess. 5th edition, I think's awesome, and no doubt that will alienate some people, but hey, it's what I think. And I think that the problems that some people have with it are vastly blown out of proportion. Iraq owns part of Turkey now. Free wars. Winning all of them. All of them succession wars. I told you it was going to happen. And rivaling Volga Bulgaria, of course. Come on, France, you can do it. Looks like they just picked up Dauphine. Good on you. It's still a clusterfuck down there, isn't it? Absolute clusterfuck. We're not even going to mess with it using console commands. I've got the list open, but I'm not even going to mess with it. Anyway, yeah, so I was planning on doing something a little bit different for the first mission in the Shadowrun. I don't know why it keeps on playing that noise. Weird. But, yeah, I gave them a choice, you know, hey guys, would you like to do something where you're thrown into the action immediately, or would you like to sit around and plan and do nothing like bullshit? Like, would you like to bullshit around for about 3 hours beforehand? They all picked the second option. So, okay. I had to design a full-on run. Which, spoiler, I didn't have the time to do it. So, it was a little rushed. I felt it was not my best work. Did Great Britain own that? What's that? That's Lyon up there. Why did Lyon own Finistre? Shouldn't ask many questions. France also now owns Izmir down here instead of Iraq. They must have been given it in one of the wars. Because don't forget, France has cores on everything here. So, in any war, there is a chance that France will pick up extra provinces, even if they're not involved in it. Because one of the things that the winning party can ask for will be to give provinces back to the core owners, being France. Imperial authority has not moved. France is still the emperor, at least. Still more princes than you can really count. Yeah, so anyway, the mission started with them being in Boston, doing a little run against some no-name corporation sort of thing. No, you know, very easy, standard sort of stuff. It went to shit because it was supposed to go to shit, and they weren't going to complete the mission anyway. But it was, you know, it had a few moments, few weird moments. It had a motorcycle crash in it, so that was good. And eventually I got them all onto a suborbital and sent it over to Arabia. A little bit of a trip between Boston and Arabia. Just zoom out a little bit. This is Boston up here. In this area here, is it? Yeah, it's up in this area here. All the way over to Arabia. I actually dumped them. Let's see, where did I dump them? I know, I'm getting a little bit distracted. So, Abu Dhabi is about here from memory. I do not know why it is playing that sound. Maybe it's a monarch death or something like that. Yeah, so Dubai is up here. Abu Dhabi is this one here, I think. In Beniyazi. It won't tell us. It would tell us if we were playing CK. Yeah, so Dubai, Abu Dhabi. I dropped him 100k south of Abu Dhabi, just here in the desert. I crashed the ship, alright? They're near to a few things. The current plan for them, like their current plan, which... Geez, Mauritania is getting their shit kicked out of it. Go Mali. Not much is happening over in America, not much ever really does. I mean, occasionally one of the tribes will conquer another one, but they move around a bit and do not do much. We can normally wipe out Chimu. The Saga is getting up over here, that's good for it. Let's not zoom in too much. Yeah, the Japan situation is always interesting. Mongolia is surviving, that's good. One day I will play a game outside of Europe. I did do a Japan game once for an achievement, but it fucked me. I legit earned the achievement and it was like, no, because of his flag change you didn't do it. No, fucking... Yeah, it wasn't great. Anyway, so they're stuck in the middle of the Arabian desert, or maybe not middle, I mean, you know, they can see Abu Dhabi and maybe even Dubai from where they are, because Dubai has massive fucking skyscrapers and flat land all around it. And, you know, oh, there we go, Mali ended its war with Mauritania, it took pretty much everything that wasn't coastal. Good on. Let's just check on France's ownership of things. Yeah, they're in a little province up there. They're at war with Volga, Bulgaria. What's the reason? Succession? Succession. Well, this could be the defining war against Volga, Bulgaria, because if France smash them, can we actually see who... Yeah, so there's a few people involved in that. Persia hasn't joined in, Ryazan has. Ryazan was probably the instigator. Anyway, see how it plays out. But yeah, so, stuck in the desert. Next to the basically smoking wreck of a suborbital transport. Big parachute nearby, all that sort of thing. I checked out the times. They left Boston at about 7, 8 o'clock at night, so it's, well, just on dawn where they are now. And yeah, so they've got a full day in the desert before nighttime comes around again. They have no water, no food, limited equipment because, well, they didn't expect to be coming here. And the current plan amongst the players appears to be somebody must have sent us here. Like, you don't accidentally get on a suborbital. Spoiler, they accidentally got on a suborbital. You don't accidentally do this sort of thing. Obviously, one of the megacorps has arranged for us to be here. Now, here's another point against that. The players, the Shadowrun characters that they've designed are specifically supposed to be, like, just on entry-level Shadowrunners. They're not experienced. They're not very skillful. They're not, really very good at what they do. France now owns Calais and Flandern. So little inheritances across the place, and as long as they remain emperor, then hopefully everything's good. They won't remain emperor at this rate. I don't actually know who will become emperor next. But it will not be France, because none of the electors are voting for them. I don't actually know what happens. Oh, it will be Georgia at this rate. And when that happens, that's a massive fuck up on France's part. Remember, we held on to the emperor title for as long as we possibly could. There were periods of time when we lost it, and it was a massive pain in the ass, but we got it back, and we held on to it, and we made sure that we held on to it. I mean, France is expanding here, but they've even got a bit in Spain, just below Toledo down there. But if we lose, or if France, sorry, let's try not to get emotionally invested here. If France lose the Emperor title, I think they're fucked. We've given them every chance that they could get. Anyway. So yeah, the players believe that they should wait out by the crashed suborbital for the mega corporation who has arranged for them to be here to come and get them. Because they weren't supposed to crash in the desert by their understanding of things. The landing pad was occupied and you can't ram a suborbital into an occupied landing pad without causing massive casualties. So they were diverted and they've landed in the desert. The problem with this little assumption is they're wrong, of course. They don't know that. I mean, I'm fully content for them to starve and dehydrate in the desert. That'll be fine by me. But, yeah, so I've got an idea. I mean, they could try and make the trek to Abu Dhabi. That's where they're supposed to end up. It's the only city around for hundreds of kilometers. So that would be, you know, preferable. But, well, we'll just have to see. There are a couple of other things. The entire premise of the campaign is you go somewhere new and you set up base. Set up a base, do some shadow runs. You know, basically be new to a place and get along with it. But, well, we'll have to see how that pans out. I don't intend to, like, feed them a run every session. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, here's the session, this is your run. It's going to be, okay, this is the session, what are you doing? Are you going to go out and try and find some runs? If you are, well, you're going to have to find a place where people advertise these things, like a Shadowrunner bar or something like that. Or, some underground, what are the smoking things that they have in the Middle East? Like, the pot with the tube and the... I'm going to have to research that. I'm going to end up in so many watch lists. Because in the Shadowrun timeline, the Arabian Peninsula is run by the Arabian Caliphate, who hold the entire place under Sharia law. So, gonna have to look up what Sharia law entails. I know some basics of it, but, not enough to say, yeah, okay, this is how the country is run. Hi, Azio. What's happening here? Oh, peasant rebels. Are they still at war with Volga, Bulgaria? Yep, but they're winning it, and that's the important part. Despite Volga, Bulgaria occupying at least 2 places. It's fine. Actually, in part of France as well. That's a bad thing, guys. I mean, seriously. Yeah. You need to fight back. You need to win this war, because if you don't... Oh god, I don't think they will. I'm not going to zoom in to check on what the armies are doing. We're just going to keep watching the changing of colours. And, with gritted teeth, because I do want France to do well here. Not too well, I mean, I'd like some validation of my skills as a player. But yeah, if France just get completely fucked over. We're still complete watching the, 400 years or so just to see how it happened, and what happens. Particularly interested in if anything's going to happen to Great Britain. They should be very stable up there. I mean, currently all the same religion. Can we get a culture map? Almost all the same culture. We've just got a bit of Scottish culture and Irish culture and some Welsh stuff, and not too much going on there. That being said, France has that as well. But Great Britain doesn't have to deal with a goddamn HRE. And yeah, so they're no longer the emperor. This guy is the Brandenburg. That's interesting. So that's probably fucked over France, like, considerably. Yeah, minus 100 prestige. That's a problem. They're still winning the wars. Bloody succession wars all over the place. Still winning the wars, but... Well, first of all, we've got a Regency Council. That's horrible. Not a very good Regency Council either. They've got an excellent leader coming up, 6 military. But minus 100 prestige? That is fucking abysmal. Yeah, so to jump back in topics, jumping around a little bit today. Yeah, I'm not going to tell them what to do, these Shadowrunners. I'm just going to have them there and say, well, what do you want to do? And they'll be all like, oh, well, why don't we just, stay here until that megacorp comes and gets us or something. Which, honestly, I think is a massive fucking jump in logic for them. But, well, who am I to discourage it? Really? And if they want to sit out here, I have looked up some things about the Arabian Desert in regards to the Shadowrun universe. There are giant methalong scorpions there, magical scorpions or paracritters, as they're known in the universe. And they disobey the usual rule about scorpions, which is the smaller it is, the worse the venom. The venom is quite potent. It's like magical or something, so you need magical antidote to deal with it. So hopefully none of them get stung, because none of them have that shit. Looks like Volga Bulgaria are having to deal with some heretic and German patriotism. Cool. That'll help France out a bit. Yeah, seems to be. They're losing the war with Polotsk, but the Volga-Bulgarian war seems to be coming along nicely now. Cool, cool. Imperial authorities ducked down to 10. What's probably happened is the current emperor probably doled out a bit of the influence gain. Seems he's doing that a bit, actually, unless... Are they naturally losing it? Ah, he may be dishonoring the calls of members. Whoop, open a console by accident. That would be, that was actually a very common thing for us, and yeah, it's an issue. I doubt France will get it back because of that negative prestige. So they'll just have to do what they do. God, the Protestant Reformation is going to destroy this place. Yeah, so I have to plan for next weekend is the session, and by next weekend it will actually have been yesterday for you if you're watching this when it first publishes. Yeah, my backlog is just completely shredded. But not to distract from the point. The point is that if they sit there at the suborbital and do nothing and expect somebody to come and get them, they're going to be very disappointed, because the only things that are going to come and get them are going to be the motherfucking scorpions, who are nocturnal, so at least they've got a day to, you know, deal with it before they've got to fight, you know, paracritters at night. The other options is that they can start walking. If they walk north, they'll get to... excuse me. It's early morning over here in Australia. If they start walking north, they'll get to Abu Dhabi eventually, and while they will penalise them a little bit for not having any water, or they'll have to, you know, hunt for water as they go, I'm not going to say that they can't get there. It's my intent for them to get to Abu Dhabi. They might just run into some bandits along the way and have to camp somewhere overnight and, you know, scorpions. But the point is that they can do it. How's the war going? Still up? Looks like they ended it or pieced out Ryazan. So now it's just them versus Volga Bulgaria. Is it still the same war? No, it's a different war. So they ended the war and then picked up another one. Let's have a quick look at the political map mode. No. No, we've got an allied with France. Personal union with France. Okay, so Shalan, that's a good pickup. Ryazan? No. Must have just pieced out or something. Something dumb. Oh, we'll keep watching. And yes, so they can either head to Abu Dhabi and set up shop there. They'll have to look around for a place to do that. In the Shadowrun universe, Abu Dhabi is an oil processing, basically, city. It's got other stuff around it, of course. A little bit of megacorp activity, which is always good. But yeah, it's got a lot of oil refineries. The oil in the Arabian Gulf has dried up, but it still processes the stuff that comes out of Asia and Russia before it gets to Europe. Or, there are a few little towns around. I haven't really done too much into it, but they're very close to not a town, but a place called Razin Prison, which is a prison. What I'm going to have with that one is that's going to be like abandoned, so if they find it, and if they want to, they can move into it and start, you know, looking after it. Another basic premise that I've gone with is there's a thing in Shadowrun called Lifestyle. It's basically a monthly upkeep, and it's to deal with you paying for, food, water, accommodation, a place to sleep, which is basically accommodation, all that sort of thing. And you can pick a particular level that you'd like, ranging from, being Kanye rich to being some poor ass bum living on the street. The final one is free, like the poor ass bum living on the street is free. It's just that it's not a great look, basically. But hey, it's a way to survive. So I made them take that in character creation because otherwise a little bit of imbalance, which there was anyway, that we've dealt with that. And yeah, the general idea there will have to be picked up next episode because we're only going to do half-hour episodes for this. So let me just pause the game. There we go. So we've actually gone through almost 20 years. Pretty good. So let me get my thing out, not my dick, my file here so that I remember what to say. So, you know what to do. Put a like on it, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about Shadowrun. And in the meantime, I've been Sub, you have been yourselves. Later.